mic can hear me.
Wasn't sure if you wear masks or what.
That's up to you.
Looking like a bandit. No.
That's up to you. That would be funny if we did an episode where we're all wearing masks.
Masks.
I don't think we ever wore a mask at all this whole pandemic.
I don't even think we had
not
masks
on the show. No.
Remember when we did our first, what was it, COVID?
Yeah.
Recording at his place.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think we had masks when we were doing
Well,
that. Did
we were in separate vehicles. Remember?
Me and him were the
Me
same.
and him
vehicle.
were in the same.
I had to be like in my own bubble.
Sad as shit over there.
I did.
He was so sad,
Just sitting there alone with my pizza. It's like,
crying.
you guys are over in the fun car.
It was the fun car too.
It was.
Yeah.
So this is it. That's how it is. We just talk
cool.
right into the mic. Do you want some here? You can throw these on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can hear yourself. So you can hear us if we mumble.
So usually I introduce the guests, but I don't know you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So
I'm Tina. You
I'll
can...
have you introduce yourself after I do the opening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, men. Introducing the Aboriginal Outlaws. I'm Will Bear Sunday.
Johnny B.
I'm Joshua.
We love you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in week by week. And I just want to let you know we had an awesome Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out our... hopefully we'll have a steady stream of content for you week by week now that the holidays are kind of out of the way.
There's no more holidays coming.
We
right?
still got that one where the fat fuck comes down your chimney, but
We're built for that one.
Yeah, white people say that's the Lord's Day or whatever, but whatever. No, it's where the fat ass comes down he comes in your house.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Miss
Tina Point.
and Tina. May I ask what it is? What's your profession? What do you do?
Founder of Unity Street Help, and I'm team leader.
Wow, what is
That's,
Unity Street Help?
Oh, we help the homeless and less fortunate. We hand out Narcan kits because there's a lot of fentanyl overdoses. We help trafficking victims. A little bit of all of that, like street life stuff.
Now, do you have any pages or website, anything where people can find you?
Yeah, on Facebook.
And what do they look for?
Unity Street Help Association.
Unity Street Help Association on Facebook.
Yeah, and it's Akwesasne and Cornwall, surrounding areas. We have a small one in Montreal, and another small one in Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
Okay, so this is open to anyone that needs help, not just native.
Oh yeah, it's for everybody. Like our symbol has it's like the medicine wheel.
Yeah, I mean, it does have unity in the title.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to be like, sorry, no whites.
Unity, but black stay out.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's what a lot
Why?
of people always.
Why?
No whites allowed? Because if we say no whites allowed, people are like, yeah, I get it.
Yo, I'm getting something now that you're really opening up about the black jokes.
I'm not the one who uses that word, fella. So I know Gailissu from, I know Gailissu from way back. She knew me when I was a partier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so finally
I got all kinds of secrets.
You can
about
finally
him.
tell
No,
us
I'm
what a
joking.
bag of shit this guy
Oh,
is.
yeah. She was telling me secrets. So here we can't share them, but they were good ones.
Ah,
They were good
I
ones.
see. So what made you want to start getting involved with this line of work and helping homeless and addicts and stuff like that, you know?
Actually, I kind of was involved for a long time, but I just didn't go public with it. Like, there's stuff I did in Montreal, Toronto, different areas with other, like, natives and their street helps.
Didn't go public. You were kind of like Batman.
Yeah, it was on the down low.
It's like I only help people in need at night
The Dark Knight.
The dark
when I'm
night.
wearing my mask. Yeah.
I'm like the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
but
for
I
the
punched him
past
with
2
Narcan.
years.
It's like I can't help you when you're getting mugged, only when you're overdosing. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. This is a comedy podcast,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
Okay, good.
So I had to bring balance, so to
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a lot
I'm
of
sure,
stuff.
I'm sure
because-
what you have to deal with is very heavy. So
Yeah.
if you
yeah.
come here for laughs, we'll make you laugh.
Yeah,
We might even piss you off a little bit. But hey, come on, we're Mohawk. That's what we do. That's what we do.
It's medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned about your organization at the radio station.
What a good friend.
I know. I
didn't even know you were doing shit.
Honestly, I didn't know there were fucking homeless people. I really didn't until it kind of came
like
up.
Locally?
Yeah. Like I heard a little bit about some kind of tent city on the island, or in Cornwall.
I was talking about this when you were running for chief.
That's right, and I was like, that's a Canadian side problem.
Yeah, what a dickhead, right? The only one, when we went to his meet the candidates thing, the only one there to bring up the homeless problem, and I don't mind giving him a shout out, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind either, was Darren Rourke.
Yeah.
The only person there that bring up the homeless problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, kudos, you got my vote.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a hidden population around here. Because, and
like our own Skid Row.
Yeah, in 2020, it was like it just opened up, and we were serving about 150 people at one time. So that's
a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
We're just like,
Yeah, and we were actually feeding them twice a week.
I don't mean this in like a good way, but that is incredible. Like I had no idea that the number was that large.
Yeah, it was, and
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I
was trying not to get political, but
here we go.
Get political.
All
Here
right,
we go.
then.
Without, I know you can't really say too much confidentiality or everything, but I gotta ask: are there any kids?
There's a few times, yeah. Just recently was a trafficking victim. She was non-native. She had to run. She was being trafficked for about 15 years. She had a young one, and they were in a spot like, I mean, everybody knows where they send them in certain places. So we went there, and I just pretty much like, it's like we become friends in a way, but like I don't let them, there's boundaries and everything. I want them to kind of learn stuff on their own, and like I don't want to be what do you call that, codependent or something?
Yeah, like caretaking somebody.
Yeah. So I just keep checking on her every few days, but we actually made a video. I've been thinking about like making videos and just telling the story because it kind of died down now. So I think we did something good because it did die down, like the amount of people. So she wanted to say part of her story because she was desperate. She needed an apartment. And the way the system works, you only have a certain amount of time. And then they're saying, well, if you can't find a place, then you're going to have to call CAS and put your son in with them for a little bit until you get a place. So basically the system is really broken, and I don't know if like it's just broken.
It's funny that these excuse me, a lot of these organizations, not yours, but you say the system, a lot of things, these places that have grants and stuff, where their whole backbone is that they're out to help people, like find housing or whatever. And it's funny that these are people that also give these poor folk a timeline. Like they haven't already been looking for shit for like 2 years before they even ask for help. And then they're like, oh, well, if you can't find a place in 90 days. It's like, well, I've been trying for fucking over 1,000 days.
Yeah. They're not making these apartments cheaper around here.
No, they're not.
Yeah. No, they're not.
No, especially on the Canadian side.
Yeah.
Is it more expensive in Cornwall?
Oh, yeah. It's like up to $15,000 to $2,000 a month, I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it got crazy. And then there was like apartment buildings that were just everybody started, we're going to renovate, so you got to leave, and then they would boost up the price.
Those motherfucking capitalists.
Yeah.
Gentrification, is that what that is?
I think so. It's like if you own a rental and you can get more for it, you want to kick the family out that's in it so you can get more for it.
Yeah.
Because the family that's in it's not going to pay you more.
Yeah.
So you get rid of those fuckers and you...
It's like this is a block and a half away from a nice Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to jack up the price a little bit, you know.
Or we want to sell it to like a, there's a big group in Cornwall, right? The DevCorp.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's like buying stuff. I just see their sign everywhere, and I heard they bought the NavCan Center. So.
Yeah, I think they did. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I think they'll like buy a spot and then, you know, make it a hoity-toity bougie spot that they can charge more for.
Huh.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the trafficking thing, because a lot of people aren't really aware of like the danger that lurks just in our backyard, because a lot of people think that it's like, oh, that those are Ottawa problems or Montreal problems. No, it's happening in Cornwall too.
Yeah. Oh, it's happening on this reservation. It's the border.
Yeah.
So you got to think way back in the day. This border, it's always been, you know, things happening. It's just on a real down low. Like the government, like the system, I'll say the system, they have all these things. You can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. So, I don't work for them, so I can say whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and to bring awareness.
Well, that's what I'm finding interesting, and why I invited you here is because what you're doing is kind of like a freelance social work, but like at a community organizing level, direct action level. And I, for one, really appreciate that. We've had direct action people here too. And I think that's really a big part of our culture here as the Haudenosaunee and as Oklahoma people. It's just fucking doing shit for ourselves.
Yeah, basically.
And what it seems like most people try to do is recreate the outside system here, and they slap Mohawk name on it, call it a day, and not let's figure this shit out our own way.
Yeah.
Using our own resources.
So when
Josh Sargent 2023 for chief. Yeah.
Maybe this time I'll get 16 votes.
Make a second run.
Yeah. Me and Johnny B. Johnny B's got the family.
I'm in.
You know, it's really sad that there are people that are, I guess they're pretty much monsters in this community. That are doing that to our own people. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what can you say about that?
Without getting us killed, yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried about that. A lot of
people's always like, oh, you got to watch yourself. You got to, you know, this and that. But
you don't have to dox people.
How many times are we going to watch ourselves and not say nothing while the next generation comes in and they're right into it? Like, they're picking up.
Vulnerable too.
Yeah. There's, I think a lot has to do with drug addiction and greed, because there's so many stories I've seen or I can tell. I mean, for instance, there was young Native couple, very young, 18, 19. They somehow got on the round path, ended up in Cornwall. Then they started going to these drug houses, and I have volunteers that are actually drug users, but that's like a different level. That's how we're being successful, I guess, because they'll tell me stuff. They're not ready, because I always say, are you ready yet today? You know, but they're not ready. But it's bringing them purpose. So some of them have stopped selling drugs or doing drugs a lot. And then, so they would tell me stuff. And so I'd go to a house and I would know where the target is. And we would go to a house. I'm just bringing food, you know, and I'll see natives or whoever, pull them aside. How you doing? What are you doing? I know your family, or stuff like that. You know, I just pulled them in somehow. And, they just start talking. Then I'll get calls like late at night from some people. Man, it's not good. You know, the boyfriend's all drugged out and he's trying to sell her. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, so I'll make phone calls. And they were out there. A lot of my volunteers were women. And they're like, we're going to watch out. And they're just stick by her. Just stay with this girl. So the couple, this is the most craziest story though. So I kept going there, and I would even go there without my volunteers and just stop by, or I'll see them on the street. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, and I try to bring them back home. Like I'll even make traditional foods, so to remind them of their grandmas or the home life. So one day I think there was 2 cars. There was 2 of our eldest volunteers in a Jeep, and then me and another one, and I didn't even realize what I walked into because I was really worried about those young ones, So then, I walked in. There's some strange-looking guys standing there, and I noticed they're kind of wearing Gucci and different stuff, and I'm like, man, I've never seen these, So I just walked up to them like, hey, what's up? They looked at me kind of weird, and I'm like, you want food? They're like, no. And then they're just kind of like, they started pacing because they didn't know who I was. So then, next thing you know, the door flies open and the young guy runs out. He's kind of bruised up. And then the girlfriend comes out. I'm like, hey, you guys, how you doing? You want food? And then it was like, he jumped in the car and he's like, Tina, get me the fuck out of here. They held me for 2 days. They were beating me up. And I was like, what? And I'm looking at, and I'm like, who? And it's the guys I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So I was just like, looked, and I didn't know what to think. I'm like, hey, these are my people. And I'm like, I'm taking them. And I was like, damn, man, like, I can't believe but it happens, huh? So the first thing I said, I looked at one of them because he kept looking at me, and I could tell he was trying to see who I am because I was like, walked in with confidence, huh? Like, then I was, I'm like, do you know who I am? That's all I could say. So they kind of like, what? And I was like, yeah, do you know who I am? Then the guy's like, no. And I focused on the one guy that kind of looked, like he had a little bit of fear in his eyes when I said, do you know who I am? But anyway, so I was like, if you see the baddest of the Indians around here, those are my cousins. He just looked at me and he nodded and looked to the other ones. Let's go for a walk, huh? And I was just like, and I stood there and I didn't want to get involved. And I was like, oh my God, they're in the car with our elder volunteers. Yeah. And so I just walked to the car. I'm there, just get them out of here anywhere and call me in 10 minutes. I'm there just far away from this spot. They took them out, got them out, and then I got out of there. We all got out of there. And then, I've seen one of them around. She's doing good. Then I didn't hear from anything about them. So it was like, that was awesome. I'm pretty sure they're both doing good. I don't want to give too much details because you know what I mean?
Right. That's understandable.
It's confidentiality.
Yeah, that was just one of the wild stories, but...
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You bring up the system a lot.
Yeah.
But how flawed is our system that most of our people feel the need to make a means of living by doing stuff like this, where it's dealing with people in the criminal underground, whether they're doing drugs or are involved in trafficking or anything that's just, they feel like that's their only way of making, a living.
Yeah.
Like, how flawed is our system that you feel like maybe? Because to me, excuse me, if people feel like that's the only way they can earn money around here by doing shit like that, I kind of feel like, like we're failing those people in a way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, actually, I was just talking about that with a stranger today. And I think there should be a program, and we were talking about second chances with criminals and different stuff like that, and that it becomes hopeless. They got nothing to do but factory jobs, and it just becomes hopeless, like, because they have a criminal record, and so they get into that life. And then even people that are homeless, they end up on the streets, and then they end up in a drug house or something. And they don't intend it. It's the way it happens. And then it's like everything, we've all been through so much, like a lot of natives. But yeah, what I learned too is it's not only just us, it's all different nationalities that the system failed. So there's so much. It's all they need is a second chance. They just need someone to reach out, encourage them, empower them, and give them a second chance. Like, they don't want to be working at factories or stuff like that. A lot of them don't want to be doing this. And I've seen a lot of people change their ways, like, while being out there. And one of the things was I told a lot of them, like, they're like, man, it just sucks. I can't get a job. And, you know, different stuff like that. So I was like, you know, when I'm out here, I see nothing but future counselors, like, you know, counselors for our youth. You just got to get your shit together. You're going to get a good life, you know. Maybe you have to walk this path. It's like you're getting schooled, right? Like life lessons.
Yeah.
So in order to help another. So once you get out of that, you know, help another person, then it kind of clicks in their head. And there's some people that's actually in college and going back to school now. Like, they got out of their life and they're doing that. So I think that's really cool. But the government has to do something, like second chances or even third. Like, and, you know, in order to get your record taken off, you got to pay so much money, and then you pay all that money, then it's not a sure thing. But I really think that they could get some programs and the right people and research it better. I think they can do something, but it can't be people working within the government system, because I'm not working and a lot of us weren't working in that system. So it's kind of like you have to be there. Like, they can hire they can train and hire a bunch of people that just got off the streets to go back in where the homeless and everything. Mm-hmm. You know, send them out there, because it's like they have that street credit. And that's one of the things, one of my volunteers, like on the committee, I have like a street credit seat, but I have like about 3 or 4 of them from the streets on that seat, because they're not always reliable because they're homeless too. So, but I've learned so much from everybody too. And a lot of them say, like, that tough love stuff, they're like, this is when we need someone the most. And it's true. Like, they say it's a disease. And it's like, so would you deny someone with cancer? Would you just leave them aside like that? And you're not supposed to. Because, like, I tell my volunteers, because we lost a lot of people. And try not to get tears.
It's all right. Mm-hmm. You should see these guys crying all the time.
I know I'm going to make you cry. But it happens.
Yeah. So what would you say? You want to take a breath?
Yeah.
Let's take a breath. Nice deep breath. It's hard to talk about heavy shit.
Johnny, tell a joke.
Yeah.
Tell a joke.
About homeless people.
Jesus Christ.
About the system. I'm good, though.
Fuck the
I'm
system.
good.
Just like System of a Down says.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But that's exactly what I'm getting on, though, is that because there's not too much employment opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, unless you're a fucking cop, or you're a chief,
or social worker,
you have
or you're a cousin of them,
or if you have
hey now, no political.
No, I'm joking.
Or if you have a degree on top of a degree, you know, around here, you know, there's not much for a great life.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if honestly, I think a lot of the root of a lot of problems, like if people were turn to drugs, you know, like dealing drugs and stuff, because employment opportunities and childcare. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people around here can't do the shift work.
Oh,
because they can't find a babysitter. Mm-hmm. So then they can't find a work that works with their schedule. So they don't want to be put out of their home, you know, whether it's their apartment or if they got, you know, a mortgage to pay. So then they're like, well, then I'll just sell coke. And then they're right back into that life of, you know, doing dirty things so that they can have a good life.
Yeah, that's what it is. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Well, so part of the root of it is like in the South, right? And they make one bad choice and that just snowballs into a million bad choices, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Would you say like addiction is kind of part of the root of most of them? Like you said, a lot of them are using. Is it? And it sounds like mostly opiates, right? Are like the real.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's everything basically, and yeah, a lot of that. But we can go dig deeper, and it's their childhood, how they were raised. Stuff has happened, and they just fell through the cracks of the system, and you see that so much. I still see it. Like no matter what, I still see it. Like they just fall through the system.
Yeah.
Like the cracks and that.
So what I hear is like, what you're doing is part of the solution. We need more of you. So like, we need more of yous and more. So how did you get your organization started? And then how would you like encourage people either to join your organization or to form something similar? Just, non-governmental aid organizations. I don't know what you call it.
It was, I would say, go out there. If there's a drug house or anything around and stuff, be that person to try and give them support. Without judgment. That's the main thing. Oh, thanks. No judgment.
Would you mind holding that label up to the camera every time you take a drink? No, spin it
This
around.
one?
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Don't ever mention it. Just,
Cheers.
No, the other way. The other way.
This way?
There
Where's
you
the
go.
camera?
Hold it up to the camera. You're blocking it.
That's totally.
Give her some direction, Josh. There you go.
This fine vodka,
there's the
water,
camera.
water, not vodka, water.
Don't even mention it. Just there you go. Product placement.
Product
You're supposed to
placement.
just point at the camera.
Oh, okay. That's the camera. I'm looking
Water is life.
That's your camera.
Yeah, water is life. I kept thinking, where's the camera as I'm looking at
You're looking right at it. It's that bright thing in front of you.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that because like I was getting to a story and I had a little meltdown.
It's okay.
But,
it's heavy shit.
Yeah. So what I told my volunteers.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
No, I know. I'm just thinking.
It got me
it
thinking of
is.
this asshole at the fucking meet the candidates night
Wow.
when you walk up to the podium and like the first 10 seconds you're up there out of your fucking mouth. You're like, come on, everyone, make some noise, smile, laugh. It's not like we're talking about something bad like sex trafficking. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. And the room was quiet except for this asshole fucking laughing. I didn't even find that joke funny. The fact that he thought he could, that was his icebreaker. I'm like, what a fucking, oh man, he already lost. Walking up with his Gustoa. Come on, everybody. It's like, Jesus Christ.
We're all learning though.
Yeah.
As if my family's not big enough to get me elected. Come on now.
I think what he was going for is that everyone there was kind of saying the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And they were kind of piggybacking on each other.
Oh yeah, man. You go there this year, you're gonna hear the same exact shit. Going
Yeah.
on their mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, what, like kind of sweet nothings?
It really
Yeah.
bugs
Yeah.
me. It really bugs me that I've been growing my hair longer than you. But we're both the same length for some reason.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, all right.
I think he's taking prenatal vitamins or something.
You think so? Steroids.
I'm back.
Prenatal.
Did I say that wrong?
No.
No.
Okay.
I never thought of
Okay.
that.
All right. The way you said it made me think I said something dumb. No. Like, he's just like, that's how we think it's pronounced, fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
no. I was just thinking, because that's all we ever talk about, everybody, like how to improve your health and all this and that.
How do you improve your health then? How does one improve their health?
You quit vaping and drinking those fucking things for one.
Yeah.
All right. This is actually my second one in like the last
What are you
week.
saying? You want me to go back to cigarettes, you fucking animal?
Great. I mean, you smell a lot better when you were puffing on Marlboros.
Did I think I still got some of that wood smoke from my sweat yesterday
Yeah.
in my hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think I do need a shower.
Would smoke and cum.
Not necessarily in that order, but you know.
Yeah.
What can I say? I was a happy man yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Likes it all natural stuff.
Yeah. So you had 150 people at your height. What's it like right now?
I'd say about maybe 50 or less.
That's still a lot of
Less.
people. And are they still living, like, when you say homeless, what are they doing? Are they, like, living in those tent cities kind of by the water? They just wandering around Cornwall and surrounding areas? How's it work?
Well, before you, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to make this perfectly clear. That number is only people that have asked for help.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
There's so many that are
That's a good point.
undocumented, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of couch surfers. And, of course, the drug houses, they're like, they'll welcome you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in here.
I love one like a brother, because he is a brother.
Yeah,
A
the
couch surfer. Yeah.
couch surfers. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's it looking like over there? From the ones you know about, anyways.
Right now, a lot of them are staying in drug houses or shitty motels, and they're on a limited time. It's like everybody tries to take care of everybody. There was some people still trying to camp out, asking me where they could go, and I was like, "Damn, it's cold. Like, just go to the police station or go back to the hospital." Like, because I usually refer people go to the emergency, and then they'll hook you up with a social worker. They'll give you a place to stay, and they're gonna try and help you. And so they do that.
Will they though?
No.
Because I feel like a lot of times these people have to go and ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So is there like a certain way where people can ask for help without getting turned away?
They have to go to the hospital. Yeah, it's just messed up. A lot of them ask me, and I would just say, just tell them Tina would send you from Street Help. But I don't know how much weight that holds. But and then I'm like, they can call me or whatever, and they usually do that. And then I'll give suggestions. But them social workers, they have like a list of everything. But it's still not good enough because there's still people out there. Like, they're starting to panic. Like, okay, I'm only the system will say only paid for 4 days. I have 4 days, you know, and then I gotta leave after that. I'm basically fucked. And it's not funny, but the weird thing, when I sit back and think about it, like, well, I had COVID like back about a year ago, and I was really sick in 2 months, whatever.
Like you had it?
Yeah, I died. I came back. And it was, nobody believes me.
You died?
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
Wow.
It was intense. I never.
So you're a fucking zombie.
I don't know. I feel like I'm on borrowed time.
It is Christmas time. Are we sitting with Christ right now? Jesus Christ.
She's
Your Holiness, the Messiah, the fucking Indian Messiah.
It's pretty amazing right there.
Yeah, it's something, man.
Eat all the potatoes you want.
I feel a lot better that you are sitting here and you have had COVID. I don't know if I could trust you if you never got it.
Oh.
That's just like...
Considering the people you're hanging around with, right?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I didn't catch COVID either from the streets.
No, you caught it from schools?
From family or something. I'm not even sure. Like, there's a few...
She got it from her mom.
Suspects.
There might be a few people who caught COVID in this room.
Yeah.
We all got it. We all got it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But after that, I had to recover. I have that's a little bit personal story about, I kind of knew I was going to die. That's what I kept in my head, you know, like the doctor, you don't have a good chance, you know, every day almost. And when my son grew up, I was like, take care of the house, pack all my stuff, send it to storage until I get better, you know, and then, but I knew deep down, and so then he got a roommate, whatever, so I'm like, you're good, you're golden, you know, you got your own house. That was the deal when he turned 18, so when I came out, he had his roommates, and whatever he was making it, you know.
Came out like you
Yeah.
mean when you came back to life?
Yeah, when I came back to life, then I got released. I was kind of like just bouncing
You shouldn't
around.
have told me that. You shouldn't have told me that.
Just gonna sit in your
I
brain
know, I
now.
keep thinking that Indian must
I gotta ask though, what was that like?
Like, were you like in a
Dying?
legit like hospital?
Yeah, I was in
What the-
ICU.
really?
Yeah, what was it like to die?
Jesus
Seriously,
fuck.
we've never had anyone.
You
I
never
mean, I've
died.
had a really, I've had a couple near experiences, but
On the mountain?
yeah, I don't,
on the mountain.
I don't think the heart actually stopped.
Why you keep aiming it to me?
Huh? Oh, I think I keep bumping it. It's like.
But yeah, how was that?
How was it?
See anything cool?
It was a nice feeling though.
That's what
It
I
was a
hear.
nice feeling
Yeah,
knowing
it
I don't
was-
have
it
to
was
put up with
the-
anybody's shit anymore. I'm almost out of here.
It was like it was hard to say. Like it was like a floating feeling. It was a feeling of letting go of everything.
Yes.
And then it was like I was just like.
And then they
the
brought
first-
you back to the burden of
Yeah, the
life.
first thought I thought of was like, man, this feels so good, you know.
You're talking to me
Like-
to take that jump.
And but you know, and then next thing you know, all I hear is yelling and Tina, and I open my eyes. You know what just happened? Well, I'm just thinking.
And you come back like, oh no!
Fucking assholes.
Fucking back!
Cocksuckers brought me back.
Yeah, it was the whole team was around the bed and everything.
Spend
and
my last fucking few dollars.
Jesus, they almost lost their leader.
I almost
know-
got taken.
You know what's crazy that you say those exact words is because I do listen to a lot of Q&As and podcasts. I love listening to people speak. And one of the people I love speak is his name is Kevin Smith. Most of the world knows him as Silent Bob. And his mom had also died on the table for about 5 minutes or so. And then he couldn't help but ask, you know, if she remembers her experience or whatever. And she described that exact same thing. Like, yeah, I don't know if there's an afterlife. None of us do. But the fact that she said, you know, she felt like she was floating and she felt every single worry and burden off.
Yeah.
Like, she said that she felt like I didn't have to worry about nothing. I didn't have to worry about a bill. I didn't have to worry about the cats being fed. I was literally just...
It's kind of almost like a fuck it moment. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. Like, fuck it, man, I'm going.
So
And it's taken...
is it almost worth it to live the rest of this life to get back to that moment? You'd be like, that's what's at the end. And you're like, I'm going to cram... Not really. Not that I'm saying you're living to die, but
I mean,
the
we
fact-
all are, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that.
She drives 15 over the speed limit now.
But what I'm saying is that
It's 2 cheeseburgers.
is it worth trying to cram as much as you can in that life because now that you know that's what's at the end for me, getting back to that feeling.
Well, I only seen that just that little bit of that feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see all of it.
Right, but
So I'm
mean,
still left kind of wondering.
So you just got a taste.
Yeah, it was like a little tease of a good feeling. But yeah, I'm sure there's an afterlife, and I believe it. But yeah, a lot of my family refused to believe that I died. They're like, "Don't tell me that. No, I'm gonna call your doctors." And then they just
believe
kept
you.
drilling in my head. You didn't die. Why you keep saying that?
I believe
and,
you.
you know.
When I first walked in and I saw your face, I'm like, she looks like she fucking died once at least. She's had to have at least died for a little bit.
Died and came back.
Something tells me she saw the other side. Yeah.
You never know. Maybe I just had to tell my story
Yeah, I
with
know.
you guys, and
She's got
Yeah.
the shit.
Now we're going to start speaking tongues. What is law? The Holy Ghost. Fucking Holy Ghost. Hallelujah.
we're gonna have to say a prayer before I leave.
You start your own religion
But-
next.
Yeah, that's all I think of though. Like, shit. Like, why did I come back? Like, why why did I have to come back tonight to what else?
God damn
So I'm
it.
thinking it's almost like some of those movies you see, like Unfinished Business.
You got to stop covering the label.
Okay,
Use the handle.
the handle's on their
Turn it back the other way. You just had it in the other hand.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There we go.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. I never had to freaking help someone hold a cup.
Yeah.
Like this.
He takes his coffee cups very serious too.
He does.
Shut the
He does.
Yeah.
He's a coffee.
You won't fucking let it go.
Every time you drink that the wrong way, you pick up that cup. It's fucking killing them inside.
I brought up one goddamn thing that'd be cool if we did, and they won't fucking let it go. Yeah, let's get some more stickers then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna every time I'm gonna think of you every time I get a coffee cup in my hand. I'll be like,
There you go.
So when did you first start doing all this?
all of the street help. Let's
Yeah.
see. Back in 2020, I was actually by myself, just helping a few people that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt, she's a clan mother, and I kept dreaming of her, and she kept saying, do something. Then I'm just thinking, like, okay, I don't know, like, what do you want me to do? But she wasn't saying. And then she just kept coming to me. So I just started to think, okay, like, what am I doing now? Maybe she sees something. Maybe I was. So I went in that direction. And I obviously I was assuming it has to do with helping our people. So I just kept getting those dreams. And then so I headed in that direction. And it was just, everything was wild how it opened up. I didn't have a plan. My only plan was to feed the homeless and to get Narcan kits. And for a while, I was getting everybody's name because some pharmacies, you need ID, you need this and that. And then it was like, then one pharmacist reached out to me. It was RX Pharmacy in Cornwall. Mm-hmm. It's like, Tina, I want to have a meeting with you, you know. And he's like, bring some of your volunteers. I'll train you. And I'll hook you up with Narcan kits. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, how much? You know? He's like, 100 Narcan kits every 2 weeks. And I'm like, so I don't have to get all kinds of people's IDs and stuff? It's like, no. And it was awesome. When I went there, I was like, wow, there's other people actually trying to fight this battle too. So that was really good. And it made everything so easier. So because a lot of people were like, there's overdose, man. And then a lot of people were too scared to go and give their IDs to the pharmacies. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I guess they had their own reasons, and they didn't want their ID on it or anything. So once I started, it was like I was just pushing that on the streets. There are no questions asked, just hand it out. And a lot of my volunteers saved lives. A lot of, especially the natives. Yeah, that's all. That's like in us to take care of others, right? And so a lot of them, I would just meet up with them and give them Narcan kits. Next day, Tina, man, if you didn't have that, if you didn't give me those kits, someone would have died. I saved someone. I had to use 8 because I was still carrying around that big grocery bag of Narcan kits. And I was like, damn, really? And it started getting like that, and then there was more people were starting to get involved. Like there was and I got that, like what do you call that? The street code, where I don't like to talk. Like there's certain things I can go, but I'm gonna just say it. Just
we'll
trying
just be
to be
real
real.
shifty about this part.
So I know these bikers.
Nice.
Anyway,
They go by a name.
Yeah, man.
We won't name them.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, you guys, you all hang out in the rough part of town, you want to hand out some food to people? They're like, yeah, sure. I'll give you plates too. It's home cooked meals. So they were down with it and everything. And then so then they were saying, yeah. And then right around that time, there was an overdose across the road, and one of the bikers' wives were telling me, man, you know this girl? And I'm like, yeah, she's actually like a client of ours. And yeah, she had it. So then they started talking about a family member of theirs. So I had, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep bringing it. Just hand it out to anybody. If you think they, fit the description, ask them if they want some. So they were handing out Narcan kits, and they were handing out food. And so many times and then next thing you know, me and a lot of volunteers, we'd hit that spot, and we're all just chilling out with the bikers. We're just talking about family-oriented stories and different, like, the problems in the city and stuff like that. And, so then the one time I had just dropped some off. They're like, yeah, we've been out for a week. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll drop a bag off. Next day, they're calling me up. Later that night, their family member, and they were young, came in, and they overdosed. And they needed, like, I think it was 4 of the Narcan kits to bring them back. So they were like, they were just like, they wanted to help the wives, and like a lot of them. So they were really, and that's what it was. That's how I felt like I was being guided by my aunt, because so much things that happened, it was out of my hands, and it was almost like, within certain areas I would go to, and something would happen to them. And then sometimes I would spend extra time, like any time I could be like on the spot, traditional counseling, and just talking to someone, and the team would have to leave, and I'd have to stay back and sit with someone. I'll be sitting on the street while they're crying, and they had enough of life, everything, and I would sit there until they're okay. And then I would just kind of, here's my number, just call me, like, and just keep trying to uplift them. So we had biker volunteers. That was cool. And so then and there's just so many different, and there's so many different other known organizations that they were actually helping pulling homeless people in. I'm gonna let them stay here. You just bring some food, and like, I don't know. I guess you could say criminal organizations. I don't know, but anyway, they were helping. They were volunteering, because it hits home for a lot of them. You live that wild life, and sometimes some of your kids, they grow up and they see that and end up like getting involved in that. And like, it was almost like everything was in place, and it just kept opening up, and I was learning, and I felt like it was like a crash course, a college course or something, me being out there for over 2 years and stuff. And there was even young non-natives. I'm sure there's natives. I didn't hear of it yet, but there was a few non-natives that just smoked a joint, and they dropped. Nobody had Narcan kits in that neighborhood. They just dropped, overdose, died.
Wow.
I think he was 18.
So it just got into their supply somehow.
Somehow, yeah. And it was messed up. And so then there's like, so then I bump into some natives, and of course they're just dying to talk to somebody from the res. So a lot of them are like, man, Tina, there's these group of women that are, hitting the coke shops, or whatever you call it, coke houses. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, so and they're like, yeah, we were just smoking, and next thing you know, I woke up on the floor, and I don't got no money. I'm not supposed to sleep on that stuff, and so I was like, so that's when that started. Things like when I was saying like was opening up, like different things, and I was like, damn, like. So a lot of that different scenarios kept happening throughout the city and on the island. And then St. Regis, I was doing a little bit out there. And there's so much stories, and where it was just popping off, like people were getting scared. And then there was times where I'll be like helping some of the people on the streets, feeding them, and you hear sirens. They're in line, and everybody stops, and they're just listening in the direction, and and then I was just standing there. I'm like, it's scary, yeah. And one of them's like, yeah, it is. They just kind of look sad, I'm there, so someone that way? And they're like, yeah. And stuff like that, and would happen, and it would. So I see like a lot of post-traumatic, stuff happening while they're out there on the streets, and then and there was another time this one person didn't have a place to stay. He went to crash out at a drug house because the doors are open, and so he stayed there. He said he just smoked a joint, and next thing you know, he was getting revived in a snowbank. The Cornwall police found him in a snowbank someplace. So whoever they were just tossed him out. But yeah, there's so much crazy stuff. And the thing is what I don't get is why ain't they saying anything? Like, why ain't they giving the estimates?
Right. Why is it not front page news?
Yeah. And man, I had a list. I made a list, and there was like that
it's
list.
Because people threaten violence.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well,
yeah.
Even the homeless problem, and like not the why isn't it common knowledge maybe that it's a thing, and all these scenarios exist. I'm
with you on that. Why don't we know more about this?
Yeah.
Why is this such a secret?
It certainly isn't very common in the papers. Yeah. I literally do the news for the radio station.
Yeah.
I don't have time to prepare the news, so why isn't this something that, hey, here's a list. We have lists of COVID figures still. Why don't we don't list those because nobody fucking cares anymore. But
Yeah.
Why aren't people more upset about that big IGA renovation job?
Yeah.
And why aren't
$25 million for an office?
Now that hopefully people are becoming more aware of this homeless problem, why aren't more people standing there rubbing their hands, being like, "That's going to be a homeless shelter, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we were thinking of putting more offices here."
Yeah.
For what though? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To twiddle your thumbs and
yeah.
Would
you say part of the problem with the like shelters and the system that exists is they expect you to be clean when you walk in, and it's like, hello, why the fuck do you think I'm out here?
Yeah, and exactly, like in the bigger
sorry,
cities,
you're only allowed 5 sores on your face.
Yeah.
I count 7.
Yeah,
you gotta go.
They probably would though.
I see you have a nice curable addiction. Stop using that shit that makes you go fucking wacko if you don't take it.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's so much more. And it's already out there. I'm just gonna say, when I started doing street help, I was asking some serious stuff, and a lot of it was how the police what they do to you. You get a charge, they're going after you a second time, and they're gonna put something else on you. People, I have a hard time with authority because they abuse it. And they're part of the problem. Mm-hmm. They abuse it, and it's like, why? There is good police out there. There's some that are active in this, and there's a time where I had to actually counsel a Cornwall police officer. I was like in a dark place, but I always had security with me too, and he just started talking about things, and I was just like, wow, man, like. There's good and bad and everything. Even with the system, there's some good, but I think that the bad overpowers the good, and then there's all the rules and whatever. But I asked, I started getting names, and for police brutality, and more than me, there's more volunteers that knew about this and knew about all those names. I came up with like 65 names within 2 months. They got the shit kicked out of them by the cops. Only 15 of them were non-native. So imagine that, they're helpless. They don't.
No, we talking about our cops or cops off the res?
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference.
Is there?
There is a difference when
if they're beating people up?
When our government is paying for that, there is a big difference. Yeah.
Well, whose government is Mohawk Council?
Isn't that the Canadian government?
It is the
Mohawk
Canadian-
Council?
By the way, this is not live.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if you want to let it all out,
Alright.
if you want to let
Okay,
it all
I know I
out,
keep hesitating.
and then you're like, can you edit that out later?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll say it.
All
Mohawk
right.
Council and the police are not ours. They are trained and they're owned and they're paid by the state of the country of Canada. That's who they are.
Yeah.
So that's who pays the bills. You work for who pays the bills.
Yeah.
yeah,
and you enforce the
basically.
laws
They
of
do
those.
get a little rough. I've witnessed a tribal cop like getting a little rough with somebody that was already in handcuffs.
Yeah.
That was a fucking tiny person, like skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I tried to like, dude, that's my friend.
Yeah.
You're not gonna slam my friend around. I tried to rush that cop, but
Yeah.
the rest of them grabbed me.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, dude, he's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking do that to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen cops being fucking dickheads.
They are.
Yeah.
And
Not all of them, but enough of them.
enough. Yeah, there are too many.
Yeah.
Too many. It's like,
Yeah,
come
like,
on,
when
man.
you see it firsthand and
Don't be
you're
part
like,
of the
"That's fucked up.
problem.
He's smaller than me.
Well, I
You don't have to do that to him.
I mean, Chris Rock said it best about that bit about bad apples. Mm-hmm. It's like there shouldn't be a job like that where there's bad apples.
No.
It's kind of like he made the joke about like pilots.
Yeah, and air traffic controllers.
Yeah, and it's just
okay.
like, yeah, but there's a few bad apples that crashed the plane. He's like, you wouldn't get on the
Yeah.
fucking plane, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
Yeah. So I had made that I made it public about the police, and then I was like, I took it down. Then I was like, damn, what am I doing? I'm I'm really acting fearless.
I'll fucking post it. Give me that list.
Yeah.
But what I told everybody is, I'm like, what you guys are gonna do is I have lawyers. I have lawyers that work for free for us, and anything like they're there and they'll help our clients and direct them and stuff. And so I was holding that list for a while, and I just showed up one day. I need to get this off my hands. I'm there. There's no names. There's no police names. I'm there, but it's of clients, like of people that need help. So they took the list. I don't know what they're doing with it. So I just kind of, all right, that's out of my hands. At least I did something. Hope for the best. And
You gave it to cops?
no,
I was gonna
I
say.
gave it to lawyers.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say if you gave it to cops about who the bad cops are, they probably shredded it
They rolled a joint with it.
Yeah,
and planted it on some poor bastard.
Snorted some.
yeah, yeah. They I told everybody I don't want no names of the cops because
Right.
that might mess up like the investigation. I don't want to hear that, and just give me your name. I heard your story. I'll pass it on. And that right there, it empowered them. And the reason why I had to do that, like I said, everything opened up. We'll talk about, okay, I had a family member that was homeless. She was put into the women's shelter. When COVID hit, she had 5 kids. And when COVID hit, they sent her to Cornwall, gave her an apartment. Not an apartment, I mean a hotel. They put her in there. Basically, they said, you're Cornwall's problem. She didn't have no place to go because obviously you run out of time. And with Cornwall, people won't rent a 2-bedroom out to a woman with 5 kids, right? They'll say, no, you need a bigger place. Yeah, all these rules and whatever. When so that happened, and then she ended up in situations and different stuff, and so she ended up getting the kids taken away. She ended up getting sent to a hotel room, and she went to court that day, and she wanted, and she was a volunteer. I pulled her in and pulled her close to me, and so she became a volunteer. So she's like, man, I'm losing my shit, man. I went to court today, and they're not giving me my kids back. And I was like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm out of town right now, but I will send someone to you. And she's like, I'm scaring myself. Like, I really don't give a shit no more. And I'm like, someone's going to be coming there. So I sent a young volunteer, another cousin. And I was like, go check on her, man, please. You know, she's not doing good. So she went there, and the one who lost her kids, I think she just had a few drinks, but she was crying and yelling. You know, when you lose your shit, you don't give a shit, man. Like, you just, you know, she was in distress and the stuff. And then, so the motel owner goes and calls the Cornwall police and says there's a disturbance. First thing they do is get there, they kick both their asses. They're my volunteers. So that was personal, and they were my cousins. So I was like, man, they're females. This shit ain't right. Like, what the fuck, you know? So I started asking questions while I was out on the streets, and it was just crazy. Everyone that's in trouble out there, they've been abused by the police, our people, our own people, and it's so messed up. Like, she's in jail right now. I don't know how long she's gonna have, but so it's like what do you call that? Like a snowball effect. It just keeps going, and they're part of the problem.
Paradox. Yeah.
Because, like, you know, like, they didn't even question, you know, are you okay? And she said she was screaming, just bring me to the hospital, bring me someplace, you know. And I have pictures. They sent me pictures of all the bruises and everything. And my volunteers, like, man, they kicked our asses. And she started laughing, but I think I hit one a few times. I'm like, all right. There, at least you got something out of it. But that's messed up. You know, it's really messed up. And that's part of the problem. Like, people believe what the police say, you know, like, they say they did this and that, and yeah, that's the story.
Yeah.
I
Why
mean,
do they? Why? They're people too.
I've been involved in, you know, some little scenarios, and be sitting there like, damn, you just lied. Understand. Yeah. You know, and I have proof, stuff like that. And it's like, it's so, that's part of the system where it's broken. There's no empathy. People need to have more empathy and everything. And, yeah, it's like a dog eats dog world out here.
Well, I mean, you are the Holy One. You know, you are the new Indian Messiah.
She has
Do you think that we just need a great flood like Noah?
Yeah, maybe
Just
we need
wipe it
that.
Climate change will just wash
Like
us
only
down.
some of you are allowed on the boat. And, you know.
Well, the way I see it is, you know, whoever does that shit to our people, it's just going to hit them back to anybody, especially our women, because, you know, they're sacred. So you got these, I almost said, I'm not going to say that word, man. You got them doing that to our women. And that's part of the missing and murdered indigenous women and men.
It's connected, right?
And those police, they take some of them outside, and in BC, they call that what? The
Starlight Walk or something like that?
Well,
yeah.
hey, they do that in Cornwall.
They bring them to the edge of town in the middle of the winter and let them out in the middle of the night. Walk your ass home.
And they kick their ass and threaten them and everything.
Yeah.
And see, they're
and some
less
of them freeze to
fortunate.
death or get hit by a fucking snowplow. Yeah.
And I've heard people,
it was a big scandal in BC, but it's happening around here, you say?
Yeah, like, it's the women, they'll pick them up, like, they have, like, what you call that, like narcs or whoever and everything, and they take them. There's a lot of messed up cops though, but you know, I don't even like to go out late at night because I might get stopped. I try to maneuver my stuff out during the day, and I even tell that to my kids, like, just, you know, don't be going out there when they're stopping people or harassing them. And it's so messed up, and I really hope them lawyers are doing something. That'd be, you know, I don't know if that's all kept a secret or what, but
they sure do like their secrets, don't they? That's one thing I've noticed dealing with the court system. Everything's a big fucking secret.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you're not supposed to talk about shit publicly, and you're not supposed to, you know, speak your mind. And what it reminds me of is, like, white culture, that's their fucking culture. It's all a big fucking secret.
Yeah.
They hide everything. Everything's shame and punishment, and they fucking just hide it. And I think it's gross. Like, I think our way is we march our shit out in the middle of the longhouse. We fucking talk about it.
Oh,
no matter
yeah.
how ugly it is.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm reminded with my own brushes. Like, truth doesn't matter. Justice is an illusion, you know? It's just like, you either have proof or you have nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's messed up.
yeah. Yeah.
It is.
I'm just
I look
listening.
like I feel like I'm traumatizing you. So I'm like,
You're not traumatized.
No, it's-
at all.
but this is shit people need to know about.
I want to bring awareness. That's the main
The thing that I
thing.
find most sad listening to your story is that even you, a person that's dedicating your life's work since 2020, even you that is doing things that are good, that are positive, and all you're doing is helping people, even you don't feel safe. And you almost have this mentality like, you know, why do I feel like I'm doing something bad? Because I can't even trust cops, you know, and I kind of have to, like, put all my trust and faith in lawyers, you know.
Because they're known to be so trustworthy.
But the thing is that that's really your saving grace most of the time,
Yeah.
is what you can prove. And how you just said you feel scared to go out late because you're afraid of getting pulled over.
Yeah.
And you're living your life in a good way. You're doing good things. And it's sad that that's how you feel, you know.
Yeah,
So.
like sometimes I'll, you know, man, I'm taking off, and you know, my son, where are you going? Where? And it sucks that my kids always have to question me, where are you going? Where are you going? When you coming back? Or you know, stuff like that. But it's part of like I always tell everybody, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. Not everybody, but I tell the ones in the house. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. This is who I'm with, or you know. I just keep it like that, and because you just never know. And then, you know, with me talking about all of this, it's like, you know, somebody's got to break this this messed up cycle and speak about what's going on. Like, you know, I mean, shit, we were all born with a target on our backs. You think about it. So why not? Why keep quiet?
Yeah, I like it.
And,
what you're doing is great.
I think that I want to work on a document.
Every time Josh brings in a guest, the next person is always just more impressive. And I always, like, right now I feel like this is probably one of our most important episodes. I honestly feel like I'm Josh's most dumb friend. Like, I'm definitely his stupidest friend.
I have
now.
dumber
No,
friends.
but you helped me maneuver the coffee.
I sure did. I did. But I'm just like, man, this woman's a badass, and I'm just a fucking. I sniff my nuts once in a while, and I'm a fucking idiot. You know what?
Hey, look,
I make him laugh sometimes.
people need laughter, man. Don't get yourself. No, it's
That's right. What I'm doing is just as important as what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, you gotta
We're not all meant to
lifting
kill
us up.
cops. We're not all meant to kill cops.
Yeah. Well, here's one of my thoughts. Is like it's, you know, we think the battles on the front lines, and we're having blockades and we're fires and we're fighting the government, but what you're actually doing is really creating change. And if half of those families, if even a quarter of those families, through your program, get clean eventually, get a place to live, raise kids with a little less damage than they had, and that will have a longer lasting effect probably than any blockade we've ever had.
Yeah, for sure.
Except for maybe Oka. That was
Well,
that
you're
changed things.
you're literally fighting for people's human rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And dignity.
You're an activist.
I'm sort of like that too.
No, you're not sort of. You are. You are.
Yeah.
I was out there when shut down Canada happened.
Yeah.
That was fun. But I was telling everybody,
It's always fun shutting down Canada.
Yeah.
It's way easier to shut down the U.S. U.S. will shut you down.
Oh yeah, man, I'm scared of the U.S.
They'll just drone strike your ass.
Yeah. You're having
It's the
drones
whole
U.S.
falling all
U.S.
over.
says drones. Canada has fucking cops that ride horses. The RCMP. Royal Canadian Mountie Putin's. Yeah. No, even though you say you were part of these temporary fights here, like blockades and stuff, the fact that you're still doing it day by day by day, you are an activist.
Yeah, but,
You are
yeah,
you are
I guess
fighting.
so.
You are fighting every day. There's no guessing.
Yeah.
You are. Fucking
And
wear
just-
that
just
badge
trying
of honor.
to stay humble.
Wear that badge of honor.
Yeah, well, it's like the Panthers.
You be humble. I'll keep it real.
All
You're a
right,
fucking
then.
badass. You're an activist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a fucking. You know what? You're definitely someone I want my kids to meet
Yeah.
That's cool.
for sure.
It's like the
Thanks.
Panthers. Everyone, they see the images of the
No.
guns and
let me make that clear. I really hope they don't need your help.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying. I hope they can meet you someday and get inspired.
But
Boy, that sounded bad.
when my daughter's in a drug house, I hope.
Under different circumstances.
you're like, get down, I know him.
Oh, fuck.
Get home. Yeah.
But like the Panthers, everybody sees the guns, they see the camo, but really the Panthers was about the food programs and the fucking getting the people off the streets and
Yeah.
and trying to combat injustice.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
a Black
that's
Panther.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
All right. Awesome.
You're a Red
How do you do
Panther.
that? I'm a Red Panther.
Red Panther.
That's actually Wu Tang.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Part of the Wu-Tang
Yeah,
clan.
Wu Tang.
Wu-Tang in Canada.
Putin clan.
Poon Tang, did she say?
Poontang.
You got my attention.
Putin. I was just trying to rhyme it with, Wu-Tang.
I got it, but it sounded funny.
Right.
That sounded like vagina. Do you, how much longer can you stay? I know you.
Oh, I'm
you
okay, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep going.
All right.
What plans do you have for the future?
For the future,
Yeah.
I want to do like a documentary. I'm just trying to find the right people, and I want to focus on the nearby cities and just what the problem is. So
We might know the right people.
yeah, and I think that would be awesome to just have different video clips traveling. It's only going to take like a day here and there.
Yeah.
Then put it all together, and then even like let's
I
say
have a good
teens.
phone. If
You
you
have
want
a-
me to
Oh, okay.
hang out with you for
Yeah.
a day. Yeah.
We'll just strap a GoPro to someone.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
send
okay.
them off to
Yeah,
the
that
houses.
sounds good.
It's like a wildlife video, but it's people.
Yeah.
Why are you pointing at him?
I got him.
I'm gonna bring you out to the wild. But
Welcome to the jungle. Yeah. I just switched to that camera.
I hit the button on accident. I'm gonna buy that little box I want.
Clicky, clacky,
Oh, yeah.
clicky. Yeah. I love hearing the audio only podcast like Women's Dance, and I just hear.
Oh, really?
I'm like, Josh is in the room.
I haven't listened to the audio only in a while. I edit the video and then I just export it to audio.
I'm sure he's just so sick of hearing our voices. He's like, fucking, I ain't listening to it.
oh, that means he's clicking it off, or no?
He's
Or
switching
just
cameras.
oh,
when you do
okay.
that.
Yeah. This
Well, that's the magic of producing and editing is that
Yeah.
he has to spend not only like an hour and a half sitting here doing it,
Mm-hmm.
he's got to spend sometimes double or triple that time
Oh,
watching it over, listening to it. I'm sure he gets sick of it, but that's why he makes the money. That's why he makes the
I
money.
make the same money, bud.
But yeah,
I bring the funny. Someone's got it. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna earn my cut in a bit. You gotta wait till after Christmas.
Get a Chromebook. So you want to make
Why not just put that on your Christmas list? Santa Claus, man.
No, I'm already getting some sweaters, some really nice sweaters. You know.
I'm gonna go Starbucks.
I have Wi-Fi, you dick. You think I'm gonna go all the way to Cornwall to Starbucks? Okay, now I can write. Yeah.
It's all about setting.
So documentary. You think you want to do a documentary?
yeah. To bring awareness, and
Now, what are you gonna do? You want to put this on YouTube, or you want to put it right on Uncle Zesty TV or something?
I want to go. I want to.
Just think bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm not thinking small time because this is a problem that
You hear that, ATV? Small time.
I mean, I ain't small time. Just joking.
I mean, we might have
I'm
just
not.
a-
No,
I'm,
you're
I'm
not.
thinking.
You're the Messiah, remember? You're the Messiah.
And truthfully, we
Maybe
might
that's
have many
why I came
listeners.
back to life. I don't know, man.
Could be.
Call
Yeah.
APTN and
CTV.
you know,
CTV.
and it's like, hey, man, like, but I can't take all the credit. Like, I just feel like my aunt has been guiding me in some way because she was a Wolf Clan mother, and it just seems it's like sometimes I get spiritual. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like a spiritual good feeling when I'm out there. Like I feel like someone's there with me, and so yeah. I tried to keep the deliveries during the day and whatever, but you know, like during the winter, sometimes you go out and it's dark and
Yeah, 2 in the afternoon.
you got no choice, but you got a whole crew with you, and
Yeah.
but yeah, like, and I feel that sometimes, and you know, my one brother's always saying those are God's children, yeah, you know, like, but they're in training. It's like they're in life training. Some will make it and some won't. That's why you become a wise elder, is because you go through shit. You go there and then you come back, and you got to be able to help your people. It's like, you know.
Yeah, sometimes to find your goal, you got to drive through a telephone pole.
Drive through a what? Telephone pole?
He's making fun of me.
What happened?
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Well, now you can tell everybody, you know, like, whatever your lesson was learned, you know.
Yeah, I walked out of that accident going, I'm going to do comedy.
And here we
Yeah.
are, man.
Don't do what I did, kids. You just put up with a shitload of abuse. They make fun of your idea for cups, and now you say you want to get a Chromebook, and they're going to laugh at that shit too. Find better friends. That's my advice. If you survive your accident or your overdose, find better friends.
That's usually going to
Don't do what I did.
That's usually how that happens.
Yeah, you change your life. And
Don't find 2 more assholes to make your fucking life hell. I'm kidding.
But
Hey, man,
I'm just kidding.
hey, I tried to drive through a telephone pole before.
Yeah, how'd that work out? You wound up in corn.
Necessarily
you
corn.
missed the pole.
Yeah, I was in the middle of the road. But, yeah, it's just more angry than like, fuck, can't believe this happened. Damn it. Like upset because I used to be with like my dad and you see him dozing, right? While he's driving, like holy shit. And I fuck with him like, Pop, what the fuck is wrong with you? You old bastard. And it happened to me and I'm like, fuck, that's me.
Can't tell my dad. He'll never let it go.
Yeah, I'm officially my dad. Except I succeeded in falling asleep behind the wheel. And going off the road and hitting a fucking telephone pole. And then I kind of yelled at the state trooper when he was giving me my tickets because I got a ticket for failure to keep right. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I got as far right as I possibly could without killing myself, dickhead. I went off the road on the right-hand side. I couldn't possibly get any farther right. All right? He started laughing a little bit. He's like, he didn't even know what to say. I'm like, what the fuck is failure to keep right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's no failure to stay straight.
Failure to be on the road.
Failure to stay on the road.
The smashed car should be punishment enough.
Fucking.
Guys got me sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's warm in here. It was so cold.
It's all right.
So
I don't know how you're doing that hat, seriously.
The hat.
Yeah.
Well,
Aren't you hot?
I have no choice. I mean, not that way, but I mean,
I said if you take your hat off.
I was like,
Somebody's
I was
forcing
kind
you
of
to
like,
get
my ride was like, came at like too early.
Oh.
Like I don't even have socks on. So I was like,
really
man, I'm just
indigenously
gonna
good.
have to rock the hat.
Fuck warm feet. I got a nice warm head.
Yeah, maybe that's what's happening. But yeah, so I just, got ready, grabbed my stuff and went out the door and got ready on the way. So yeah, that's why I'm wearing a hat.
Just like Batman.
So you're Batman and Jesus. Just
Batman and Jesus.
Yeah, there you go.
But Jesus.
But Jesus.
But Jesus.
Scared the bejesus.
Baby Jesus.
So where do we find you on Facebook? Do you want to do a documentary? Do you put this stuff online, or do you edit it? Make little things, or you just don't got time for that, and you need someone to do that shit?
Well, I've been trying to research it, and I've been just like doing all kinds of stuff. But this is like my first live ever. Like I've done a lot of interviews with newspapers. Well, back when Shut Down Canada happened, I got pushed in front of the camera, spoke a little bit. But this is the first time to actually be really talking and sharing this story. And I kept it offline, like a lot of what I'm saying now. So a lot of people don't know this. I would say stuff, then pull it off. And, I was kind of, I don't know why I did that, but I was kind of in the zone, right? Like, that's I don't know if it's something to be talking about, but right now my only focus was on them. It's kind of like, if you're going to counsel someone, you're not going to be telling their stories, right? So that's how I kept it while we're out there. But because it slowed down, now I'm thinking, and people's like, maybe we did something right. And then I'm like, man, I never thought of that, I think we did. So I instead of counting the deaths, there was like 40, 50 fentanyl deaths that I know people. Some of them were my volunteers. And that's a lot. So, man, I just lost track of what I was talking about. I'm trying not to get in that zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot. And it wasn't really something to talk about. But now that it's almost like I graduated from that school or something. So I'm just like, I'm doing a lot of reflecting and sitting back. And I'm like, well, now it's time to speak about exactly what happened. Because a lot of them, a lot of people have gotten out of it. And there's a lot of deaths. So there's so many times we'd pull up at a place and they're like, hey, they're not here. They died. So it's like, oh, shit, and there's a lot of that happened. And there's actually too, I'm getting off subject. I keep jumping around, but I'm just trying to think of everything that's important. There's a group of women that are out there that are purposely putting fentanyl and in our own people's stuff, whatever drug they're taking, or the cops call it a hot dose. Mm-hmm. So to me, if you killed one person, it's murder. If you killed another person, then another person, that's a serial killer. Mm-hmm. And that's what we got in Cornwall. And wow. I've heard of it over on the res too. But they're purposely doing that stuff. And there's witnesses. There's so many witnesses. And I had gotten a message. It's just crazy how some police and some like authority talk with me or send me messages. And one was like, tell Tina how we're doing this. Like, they're trying to tell me to keep quiet, basically. And it's like, well, how many people are you going to sacrifice to get to what you need to do? Right. And it's like, not saying they're a serial it's killer, like, because how the hell are you going to, tell me that? Like, send me a message, and because they're trying to do a different approach to battling this. And it's like, I don't even want to hear that. It's like, you got a situation here. Why aren't you doing that? And then last winter, I was out in Montreal, and I would be just visiting this other place. It was Ganawaga. They had put a tent. It was the Warrior Society. They put a tent right downtown on Atwater, and they were helping. Like, they had people out there, and they were like, they had them sleeping in a really big tent, and they'd bring food, drinks, everything. And then they were feeding them during the week. And they're feeding them lunch and supper. I ate with the people, sat there on the street, ate, and they feed them good. And so I started talking to some other workers, and them Inuit women, there's also a serial killer out there. He's murdering these women, and he thinks it's funny, and they're indigenous, and it's so messed up. And they're saying the police don't want to do anything. So to me, and there was one woman that was homeless, and she was hiding from that guy because she became aware of it, and I guess he was all drunk and talking shit and stuff. So that was a serious situation, and I kind of only, I was kind of just doing a little bit. I was not, right into it, finding out, and
But you hear about it because you're in those circles, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They showed me pictures of who he was and everything. And right there, I think some of them good cops need to step up against them bad cops. Like, do something. That's your job. The ones that are being, if you see something, then do something. Like, it's those ones that are being ignorant when our people are crying for help or trying to tell you something. It's like, don't push that aside, because how many more? Because they're part of the problem, too.
Right. I read in the news today that in I think it was Winnipeg, there was they found a lady's body in May, and now they just found a bunch more parts, and it was all one guy. They just arrested that one guy, but it took like months.
Yeah.
It's easy to prey on people who, it's a vulnerable population, so it's easy. Like, it's what we were talking about before you guys got here. The trafficking, the drugs, and the homelessness kind of all go together because they're vulnerable people. They're people who probably didn't have a good childhood, and it makes them an easy target for all of this.
Yeah, because it's like they don't have a voice. Because you got to imagine who they're going to go to, because everybody treats them like they're pieces of shit, which is, they're part of the problem. Like, there's so many talented people out there, too. There was one homeless guy we had, and he was just doing artwork and stuff, and it was so awesome. That's all he wanted to do. Like, he even, was at the homeless camp and, just doing artwork and stuff. And there's a lot of people that have different talents that are out there. And all it takes is people who with empathy reach out to one. What can I do for you? You don't have to spend a lot of money. Or, maybe everybody has leftovers. Try to bring them food. Just keep talking to them. See what they like. A lot of them don't realize what's that there's help, like different agencies where they can go to and stuff like that. Because and a lot of them, the ones that are drug addicts, they're always like, we just want someone to love us, just don't. That's the time they need somebody, is then, not to just toss them aside, but somehow put your boundaries up and help them with whatever they're going through. And it's just like, it's the system too, though. They just want to tuck it all away, just like Cornwall did. Every time I say something, I get a smile, just like, fuck yous. But that's what it is.
I wish I had known you 2 years ago, because I recently come back to Facebook, because 2 years ago when I was standing outside in front of Wild Bill's, I was protesting fentanyl dealers, because we had recently just lost a friend, and I had lost another friend of my own in Messina at the time. And some people brought some names to my attention, and I said, I'm not here to call anyone out. I want people to do that, for themselves. Are you trying to crack your back?
No, don't worry about my hips.
Okay.
I'm not used to sitting a lot.
So, I wish I had known you 2 years ago, because maybe I would have stuck with it. Maybe I wouldn't have walked away from it, because a lot of people, there were some that brought me names, but also there was quite a bit of negativity from what I was doing. And there was also a lot of support, and I had just become bombarded by notifications and messages, and I'm like, I gotta do something. I can't keep up with 50 notifications an hour.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I wish I had known you 2 years ago.
But you know me now, and you still can do something, because I know that's always gonna.
Well, now I
have
have a platform. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's always gonna stick in your head
That's
if
what I
it
had
was
to do.
your friends.
I had to walk away and hone this craft here.
Yeah, I think I remember that. There is a lot on this side.
But then I
too.
saw they started doing that like a few weeks after on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, right on, man. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't like gonna stop by and be like, I did this, but I definitely saw that people were getting sick of it. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be it needs to be. I've never participated in any of that, like going to drug dealers' houses and getting them to protest and stuff. I've actually been to drug dealers' places and made them. I didn't do it, but there's others. They made them hand out food and Narcan kits, and I'm like, I don't know what I think of that though. Like, it's good to call them out and like the community and being aware of who's who and what, because anything can happen to any kid. Like if they have it in their house and they're having sleepovers or whatever, like it could happen. It's happened actually. Nurses told me there was a little kid that overdosed on fentanyl in Cornwall because he dug in his mother's purse. But they brought him back to life. There's a lot of scenarios like that they're not talking about. And that's the stuff they need to talk about. It's you need to talk about it. It's healing also. It's it's healing. You got to talk about it, and you got to let other people know. And that's what they need to do. Like I went to this training at the pharmacy too, and they said, like, the fentanyl overdoses are right behind the COVID in Canada.
Mm-hmm. I seen that stat, too.
So, it's really bad. And why ain't we talking about it?
Yeah.
Especially our res.
Man. Fentanyl sucks. Use heroin.
Heroin?
That's what it's from, right? It's like...
it's like a heroin. And,
it's like a stronger heroin, right? And because you can't get heroin... It's easier to transport fentanyl. That's how it started, correct?
Fentanyl is for people that are...
dying, ain't it?
Yeah, in hospice.
Yeah, right.
It's like morphine.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was also one of the negative things about when I was out there protesting. What I was trying to say is stop selling it to people and killing them. But then people had to be smart asses, like, oh, what about in nursing homes? I'm like... Well, yeah, obviously keep it where it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, you always get them haters, huh? That's what I did, too.
They're on their way out anyways. They don't fucking take it.
They cost too much. Just use a bullet. Fuck. Yeah.
Jesus.
And the nurse.
Can we bring back electric chairs? Can we bring back the electric
We'll make it a television show.
Just said that one end of the nursing home hallway right there.
Well, we already know it's a comfort at the
bedroom.
end, so.
There's that one bedroom.
Well, I mean, the same thing happened during alcohol prohibition. Is like you restrict it so much, and what happens is they start shipping harder stuff because you can ship smaller quantities of it.
This fucking bullshit again.
Was that when Al Capone hung out with our grandparents?
It was.
No, I'm just joking.
It was. They were brewing up that whiskey.
Is fucked up. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Al Capone?
Al Capone was around here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it
just
was.
like chilling out.
Just
I have
staying on like what, Yellow Island and shit?
Yeah, my stepfather tells me those stories all the time.
Yeah.
I went fishing and I cooked for him.
He was an alright guy. Yeah.
and that's some of them people that are out on the streets. Some of them are, they're okay. Like it's I don't know. There's like all the street codes and stuff. Like they don't call the police if someone beats up a woman. You're getting your ass kicked. They hurt a kid, you're getting it, type of thing. But I'm not trying to glamorize Al Capone or nothing, but
No, the murder was bad. The murder was still bad. But the food programs were cool.
They do try to help, but I'm not glamorizing that lifestyle.
So as long as the people that created the problems in their community, as long as they hand out food once in a while, it's okay.
Except we've already identified that they didn't create the problem. Trauma created the problem. And if you take away the substance, another will follow. And another will follow. And
it goes way back. Everything, it goes way back.
So using guns.
So you're saying we got to say Al Capone's mommy and daddy were the bad ones?
They were.
Because they made them the bad boy?
That's probably it.
Yeah, blame the parents.
It's not blame. It's not the blame. It's just to find the root of the problem and suss it out and figure. Well, we know what we've done so far hasn't worked, and what you're doing seems to help. So,
I could be onto something. I'm just thinking that now, like, because for the past month or two, I was like, man, where the hell is everybody? This is getting depressing. But it was my mind, and like, hey, we're gonna go see them. We're gonna see smiles. We're gonna feed them. Then I thought, like, oh man, this shouldn't be depressing, because then people started saying that maybe we did something right. So I started looking at that. So I started counting who went to rehab, who got help, and all of that. And so those numbers were up.
Right, you celebrate your wins.
Yeah,
don't always just look at what's fucked up. Like, we celebrate your wins. So it's okay to feel good about fucking doing something good.
And I'm sure there was a whole crew of young ones. They know, like, don't be smoking weed from anywhere and all of that. Like, and
go to a dispensary.
Like a good dispensary. But we've brought awareness, a lot of awareness.
I think so. My eyes are opened. How about you guys?
Yeah.
They're open.
Yeah.
You just want to do some stuff now? No. Do some volunteering? No.
No.
Joking.
No. We'll provide a platform, though.
Mostly, like, let's just go beat up Canadian police. That's what I'm getting at.
That's what I got out of this.
Yeah, that's what I got out of this.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. This has really been enlightening, and we're definitely going to give you a follow. We're going to encourage our listeners to follow.
And if someone out there has social media experience, can you help these guys out? Like, that's what I'm hearing is, like, you got your hands full.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to learn a whole nother skill set. Like, there's people that know how to do that shit that can fucking help you.
And please don't give Josh a fourth job.
No, it's not going to be me, because clearly I can't even keep up with Will's got the most TikToks, so the rest of us are slacking.
Oh, you do?
Have a TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok.
We're slacking, John. I got half of one made.
You got half one made?
So yeah, if someone's got something, that's important. Like, people don't know about. This is a solution.
Comparing your work to fucking TikTok. No, I got my TikToks to do. I can't come.
No, I'm saying
I got funny dances to learn. I can't come. I can't come and help feed you.
I have to remind my dumb friend. I'm saying that you need someone better. You need someone better than us.
He finally admitted it. I'm the dumb friend.
Who missed the point of what I was saying is that so I'm sure someone you don't have to be like out in the streets with you. If someone's good at social media, that would be perfect to like do the pictures, take the video, take the things, and do that for you to make it happen, and then do it regularly so you get more support.
Yeah, actually, that's I think that's what we need is the younger ones, some younger volunteers to do that stuff.
So how can they contact you directly?
Facebook.
Find her on Facebook. Unity Street.
Yeah, Unity Street Hope Association.
She's gonna get an Instagram next. We're not sure about Twitter yet.
Or maybe you can start doing TikToks.
Or TikTok.
I was actually thinking of that.
A little dance out there.
Maybe dancing. But just
have a whole crew of cameras following you, giving people fucking money and shit.
Mr. Beast to come and join you.
Please repeat the name of your organization.
Oh, Unity Street Help Association.
And that's a page they can follow on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll link to it and when we post this up.
Yes.
All right.
All right, man.
Yeah, sign us off, Jeff.
We're the Aboriginal fucking Outlaws. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can find us. You can email us, aboriginaloutlaws@gmail.com. Comment on our shit, interact with us, and follow Unity Street on Facebook. Find them help them out. You don't always have to be like doing shit. You can just get the money or bake a turkey. Post.
Why do you steal? Why do you keep calling it Unity Street?
What did I say? Did I say it wrong?
I don't know. Did you? A lot of people say that short form too. Huh?
What was it again?
Unity Street. It's Unity Street Help.
Unity Street Help.
Well, we actually made initials.
Unity Street sounds cool. It sounds like a fucking 80s TV show.
It sounds like a song.
It does.
Hopefully,
Make a song, Will.
Yeah.
Make a rap song.
There you go, Will. You can make a song and we can sell it for charity.
Yes.
I don't rap.
You did pretty good, though. You
Even
try.
better.
I bet you can. Whatever Outlaws, follow our shit. Like, subscribe. Your subscriptions help on YouTube. On to get what?
All right, I'm Josh Sargent.
I'm Josh Sargent.
I guess I'm Josh too.
And I'm Will Bear Sunday.
The Messiah. Thank you for showing up.
All hail the Messiah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.